Buena Park is in the building. Buena Park? What's the deal? Nothing but the homies out there. Nothing but the homies. What's up with the homies?
Who poppin', we poppin', we major.
All right, everybody. Just want to welcome our guest. Like I said, he goes by many different names, Coach Lowe, Josh, but I'm just very, excited to have you on the podcast, Coach, and excited that for people to hear what you got to say today.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Mark. It's a blessing to be here. You and I, our families go way back. So just happy to be a part of this. Thanks for having me on.
I appreciate it, Coach. Anytime. So first off, I just want to, start off with, how are you doing? How's the family doing?
Family's doing great, man. I'm blessed. Me, my wife, my son, and then I got a daughter coming in this June. So family's growing, bro. We're doing very well. We're actually quarantining right now in Nevada. I got family out here that lives right here next to the river in Laughlin, Nevada. So I actually been here for a few days, just, trying to lay low, get out of that city madness that's going on in California, and just really, spending a lot of time with each other over here. But yeah, we're doing good, man. Thank you for asking. How you doing?
Doing good. We're still out here at Border Park. Nothing's changed really, but that's good though. I would love, like you said, a change of scenery, especially during a time like this. I know a lot of people don't get to, spend that time with their family, and I know you're a family man, so I know this is something that you're kind of used to. But I know for other people that are working 60 plus hours or 2-3 different jobs, this is a time that they're getting to spend with their family that usually that doesn't happen. So that's it's pretty cool seeing around all the different families posting stuff, and it's pretty cool,
Yeah, most definitely, man. I feel you. Yeah, I try to make my family my number one priority. But so now that there is no school and there's no sporting events and no coaching and whatnot, definitely seeing family in a new light. My wife's a stay-at-home mom. She loves what she does, and man, I just credit everything that she does just to be able to see it. For this past week and a half, been the whole day with my son, which is awesome just to see him grow during this stage right now. Yeah, it's truly a blessing. Trying to make the best of this opportunity as I can. Taking a negative and turning it into a positive.
That's what it's about. And I'm gonna take this time right now to give a shout out to the wonderful Mrs. Alma Lomeli. Shout out to you, holding it down for Coach Lowe and the family. But like you said, so you're on quarantine right now.
Definitely love you, baby.
Quarantine, lockdown, whatever you want to call it. What are some things that you and the family are doing during this time? Whether it's something you do regularly or something that you really haven't had the chance to do.
Well, obviously, with the quarantine, the social distancing going on. Yeah, we're definitely trying to practice that. But realistically, what we're doing is just being intentional, like with our time. The good thing about what's going on right now is that we've already been preparing, not for a moment like this, but we've been preparing our family from the beginning of the new year. So Alma and I, we are very committed in our church right now at the Bridge Buena Park, and we're one of the team members there that are really involved. We like to serve, and whether it's children's ministry or any ministry that is available that needs extra help, we will definitely serve in that. But from the beginning of the year, the Lord spoke to our pastor, and our pastor heard from God, and he gave the message that God is telling us as a church, see, how is it that we need to prepare? And we really felt like God was telling us to get our house in order, make sure our marriage is being intentional, make sure our finances are being in order, make sure our health. I lost 30 pounds since last November. So, I've already been kind of preparing based off of what God has been speaking to us.
Yes, sir.
And that's what, my wife has really been intentional, taking control of our budgeting and knowing where every single dollar that we make, because it's just me working right now and she's being a stay-at-home, so we really have to be disciplined with our spending and whatnot. And so she's doing like the Dave Ramsey style, everything is in cash, everything's in envelopes. So we've been preparing for a few months, bro. And then when this started to get increasingly more crazier, it was kind of like, man, God already prepared us for this. Like, we already had groceries, we already had money set aside to to buy it in advance and to stock up on certain things to get us through a few weeks and not have to go to the grocery store every day or so to check to see if there's certain things that we need. So it's just amazing how during when you're in alignment with a local church or a local body where you're really pursuing God and he speaks to you, he prepares you ahead of time. It's like the season, you know what I'm saying, in football. If you can't just go show up September and get ready to play a game without having practice, without having that summer training, without having that spring ball, and most importantly the off season, working out and having all those things to get you bigger, stronger, faster. So God in the same way was preparing, it's not like he was not knowing that this wasn't going to happen, but a lot of people suffer because of a lack of knowledge. And one of the things that I'm grateful for is that, we kind of had this tip of preparing for, we didn't know what, and now we're knowing, obviously this is just one of the things that he has told us to prepare for. So it's just a blessing that, we're able to get ourselves into alignment with God and kind of takes that worry and fear. Not to say that we haven't been afraid, because I got a call, from our job saying, hey, we don't have to report till May 1st, not knowing if I'm going to continue to get paid, want income and all that stuff. But at the same time, we just have to continue to trust God in this process and knowing that he's going to provide for us, whether or not I'm working for, the school district or whether or not I'm being led to get another part-time job at this time. Just got to keep myself, in alignment with what he is saying, and he's going to take care of the rest.
And that's, pretty much saying it exactly. What what you're saying right now is exactly what you've been living. I could attest for that. I know a friend of the show, Matt Cifuentes, can attest for that. And like you said, you've been talking to us since basically for how long we've known you. But for this situation, you've been sending messages here, sending messages there with little pick me ups or just little tips and advice. And exactly what you're saying, you've been doing in the real. You're doing what you're saying, and it's it's refreshing to see exactly everything that's going on. And it's just something that we spoke in our last episode with Matt Cifuentes, is just kind of you lead by example, and the person you follow is I would say the person that everybody should have as a role model, or the person to look up to. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I hear you.
But yeah, another thing, right now I don't know really to call. The weather's been kind of poor, but it's a dark time right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of people are going through things. A lot of people are experiencing things that they've never really had to. I know some of us that grew up in lower financial classes. This is not a change of things. You know what I mean? But
right.
How do people that have never gone through this, gone through a time that it's struggle, where you're seeing mom, dad, whether grandparents, uncles, aunts, they're coming home and they're saying that, they're not working, they got laid off for whether it's, the time being, or whether it's just a shortage of work. How do people, find light in this whole dark time,
Absolutely. That's a great question, Mark. And I don't have the perfect answer for you, but I do know this. There's one word that I hold on to, and it's one word that I would love to pass on. If I'm carrying anything, I could pass on anything to anybody else. That one word would be hope. Hope is something that is really getting me through this time. Hope that the future is going to be better. Hope that this is not going to last forever. Hope that, that what we're going through right now, these dark times, it's like Pac said, after every dark night, there's a bright day after that. We have to have hope that there's going to be a bright day coming in the future. And in the midst of all this chaos and all this worry and with fear on the loose, it's hope that is pushing me through and helping me endure this time of adversity. And so I just, hold on to the hope and believing that, things will get better, and I studied history. That's one of my favorite subjects, and I wanted to always be a history teacher. And so just looking back at, the Great Depression and studying the times of all that, it was a lot harder in times like that. And people went through a lot of struggles, and all for years. And I'm not saying that we're going to be going through struggle for years, but at the same time, we know that, America became prosperous. It wasn't a long period of time where we had people on the street starving to death. This is America. We are a country that always has been resilient, and we're gonna push through. And so, I just hope that people would know that they're not in this alone. That there is help out there. There is community centers out there. There's public servants out there. There's churches. There's help out there. And if you are hungry, and if you are in need of something, don't be afraid. Don't be too prideful to reach out for that help and that support. But not only that, if we are hope carriers and you're a person who has hope, we have to be doing our part and not holding it for ourselves, not being selfish with that, but reaching out to people, supporting those people who are in need. And so, we've been doing our best as a Lomeli family to reach out to people. And the great thing about it is it's been like reciprocated 100 times. People have been reaching out to us, with only being pregnant right now, so young. We've had so many family members and friends literally just reach out to us and bless us, even financially. We had a family just totally take a huge financial burden without us even asking or expecting anything, but they just felt like, hey, this is what God is saying. The church isn't a building, it's a body of believers, and you don't need any financial burdens here. This is what the Lord wants to bless you with. And like that's the stuff that just happened last week, bro. And that's the hope that I want to spread, that if you hold on to this hope, or if you seek for this hope, that it's going to find you, and in the darkest times, that's always when the greatest things happen, in throughout history. Great things happen, and we're going to rebound from this, most definitely.
Yeah, I mean, yes, sir. I don't know about other, our listeners listening right now, but that right there is a big pick me up. I would say, it's like you said, hope is, for some people that's all they got right now, and going back to
Don't
what you
lose it.
said,
Yeah.
exactly, and going back to what you said with there's help around, and if you guys ever need anything, if there's something that whether it's just a pick me up, whether it's financial advice, or just different things that maybe you're afraid to ask. I'm just gonna be one of those people that, I can't say I'm gonna help you with everything or help you with anything really, but I can give you words of advice or anything like that. And I know if you guys know Coach Lowe, he's the same way. And
Absolutely.
it's this is a time where everybody's, we're all kind of sharing a piece of the same thing right now. And
For sure.
when things like that happen, it's easier to relate to people. And sometimes, the person you've never spoken to, they might have a lot in common with you. And this is a time where if we're all home, we're all spending time with family, reach out to somebody, see how they're doing. And that's something I want to challenge everybody to do, is you check on somebody, make sure, they're just doing okay, and that's something I want to challenge everybody to do. And, but, I just want to give you, Coach Lowe, this is the last remarks of today's episode. I know you are a coach in high school, we need a halftime speech, Coach. I don't want to say we're down right now, but this is a big game. We need to win the game, Coach. Our listeners, me, everybody, we want to know what does Coach Slow have for a halftime speech?
Oh, hey man, halftime speeches are sometimes not the biggest or most influential speeches that you need. Sometimes it's just a minor adjustment. Sometimes it's just just a simple adjustment and a change of personnel. And so my recommendation or adjustment would be this: if you are living in fear right now, I would just encourage you to seek God in this time, because God does not give us a spirit of fear. And right now, fear is on the loose. I believe that fear is more deadlier than this virus going around. Yeah, this virus is making people sick. Yeah, this virus has shut down all sports, all of our social gatherings that we're so used to and accustomed to. And I'm not denying the severity of this virus, and I'm not downplaying it. But fear is causing people to panic. And when panic is setting in people's hearts, it's causing people to be irrational in their thoughts and what they're thinking. And the enemy wants to attack people's minds and control people's mind and lead them to believe lies that you're not going to get through this, that you're not going to overcome, that you're not strong enough, that you're not smart enough, that you're not this, that you're not, all these lies. Fear will grip you and will hold you down. But faith, God gives you faith, and God gives you love. And that love is what casts out fear, and it gives you a sound mind, able to think soberly. So what I would encourage, and the adjustment I would make to you, is turn your fear into faith by coming to God and seeking Him, and putting your hope and your trust. Even if you don't have any hope or trust, ask Him for it, and He'll give it to you. Because during this time right now, it is when we need hope and faith the most, and we need to be able to overcome all of this madness. God doesn't give us a burden that we cannot bear. Jesus says, what I give you is light. My burden is light. My yoke is easy. And so I would just encourage you guys to call out to God. And there's so many churches that can't meet, or most churches aren't even meeting. But what they're doing is they're doing online services. So I would look online, look on your social media. You're not used to, some of you people may not have ever been to church, but listen to what the words that these pastors are saying. It's not what the words that the news is telling you. It's not what social media is telling you. It's not all of these lies that are flooding the airwaves right now. But what they're saying is hope. What they're saying is faith. And that is what we need to spread. That is just as contagious as fear and as this virus is. So let your fear turn into faith, and focus on the things that are real, that are true, that are facts, and allow that to bring peace to your mind, because a lot of people right now are without peace. The reason why I have peace in my heart is not because I'm better than anybody else. It's because I allowed it to come inside, and I asked for this peace, and God gave it to me. So that's what I will encourage you guys to do. That's my little halftime adjustment to you guys. But hey, thanks, Mark. I really appreciate this call. Thanks for having me on. And I just hope that somebody was a little bit inspired today.
Oh, yes, sir, man. I just want to thank you again, Coach. And I will go ahead and tag the Bridge, their social media pages, whether you're listening on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'll tag the correct, feel, or whatever you want to call it, the correct app. And please, sure. If you do want to, listen in, or just want to, maybe find a home. I know that if you're a local in Buena Park or in the northern Orange County area, that this church is is welcoming people in, and they are wanting to help people as much as they can. And like you said, many places are closed down right now, so this place will just give you the love that you need. And but yeah, I just want to thank you again, Coach. I just want to hope everything continues to go well with you and your family. And
thanks, bro.
talk to you soon, and we got to get back on the barbecue grill.
Yeah, for
everything.
sure.
Once this all clears up, steaks on me this time.
For sure, bro. I appreciate that, man. I'm looking forward to Big Mark. Love you, dog.
Yes, sir. Love you too, Coach. All right, then have a good one, Coach.
All right, you too.
All right,
Peace.
bye-bye.
Bueno Park is in the building. Bueno Park? What's the deal? Nothing but the homies out there. Nothing but the homies. What's up with the homies?